Hi everyone, and welcome to our live training regarding the hidden dangers of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is an intimidating topic. It can be a controversial topic, but we are excited to shed some light on the biggest mistakes we see clients make or we see people make when it comes to intermittent fasting. As you're joining this training, please comment below and tell us your biggest health and wellness goal. So perhaps you're hoping to burn fat or lose weight. Maybe you're hoping to prevent cancer. Some of you might be hoping to resolve diabetes or overcome a plateau during menopause. Please comment below and tell us your biggest health and wellness goal this year. Miss Karen, what is your biggest health and wellness goal this year?
It is improved gut health. Yes, our gut health with immunity. Plus, I've shared that I have some GI issues, and so I continually work to help increase my energy and the strength of my gut.
Yes, absolutely. So as you're joining this live training, please comment below. Tell us your biggest health and wellness goal as you go through this year. My name is Amanda Tress. I am the creator and CEO of The Fast Way to Fat Loss. I do happen to know just a couple of things about fasting.
One or two.
One or two, that's right. I am a certified personal trainer in addition to a certified nutrition coach. And I'm thrilled to have Miss Karen Turner here with us as well. Please tell the group a little bit about yourself.
I am a registered dietitian here at The Faster Way, among the one of the many hats that I wear. And I love this discussion about intermittent fasting because, as you said, there is still a lot of intimidation. It is still controversial, and people are just out there doing kind of whatever.
Right.
And not being safe.
Absolutely. So again, if you're just now joining this training, please comment below. Tell us your biggest health and wellness goal as you go through 2021. Our goal here at The Fast Way to Fat Loss is to equip and empower you to prevent disease, to stay well, and to fulfill your own purpose with energy. We love to focus on preventative wellness. We love to combine many cutting-edge fitness and nutrition strategies in order to empower you to thrive. Intermittent fasting is one of the concepts that we have incorporated into the lives of now over 200,000 clients, which is so exciting. We have over 40,000 active clients right now going through the Fast Way and absolutely rocking it. But you know, here's the deal. There are absolutely right ways and wrong ways to implement intermittent fasting. And many people who come into the Faster Way say, Amanda, I tried fasting, it didn't work for me. It wasn't for me. I was lightheaded. I was extremely hungry. Or Amanda, I tried intermittent fasting and I gained weight.
Yes.
I was depleted. I started experiencing hair loss, okay? There are absolutely hidden dangers of intermittent fasting, and there are some incorrect ways to implement intermittent fasting into your lifestyle. Now, very quickly, I want to be sure that I explain intermittent fasting is not a diet.
Right.
Okay, intermittent fasting itself is not a diet. It is simply an eating schedule. There are different intermittent fasting protocols. We'll briefly discuss those as we go through this training. I'd love to share my initial reaction or perception of intermittent fasting and then hear from Karen and her initial reaction of intermittent fasting. We said, you know, listen, this is still a bit of a controversial topic when it comes to nutrition strategies in the marketplace today. And we'll share the benefits of intermittent fasting as well before we dive into some of the details. If you are just now joining, if you're just a couple minutes late or you're catching the replay, please do comment below and tell us your main health and wellness goal as you go through 2021. We would love to hear those goals and we'd love to speak with you about how to accomplish those goals as well. So, when I first heard about intermittent fasting, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 years ago, I immediately thought it was extreme, okay? When I heard other registered dietitians or nutritionists, other trainers speaking about the concept of intermittent fasting, I literally told my gym clients that they should run far away from this strategy.
That's so hard to believe.
I know. At the time, I was still preaching mini meals.
Okay.
I was encouraging my gym clients to consume a meal pretty shortly after waking up.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'm very embarrassed to even slightly allude to the types of cereals that I was telling my clients to consume. I mean, it's just unbelievable what I was taught, as I went through some certifications initially 15 years ago, a decade ago. We were having mini meals through the day to, as I thought, rev up our metabolism, like kickstart the metabolism. Oh my gosh. The true reason that I started testing intermittent fasting in my own life and then slowly started incorporating fasting with my gym clients was because I did quite a bit of research around how intermittent fasting would positively impact Alzheimer's patients.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So my Nana had dementia. Okay. She was struggling with dementia and or Alzheimer's. And I started doing quite a bit of research around the concept of intermittent fasting and how that would positively impact the brain. And as I was looking through research, I also saw additional benefits of intermittent fasting, including accelerated fat loss, including autophagy, including boosting of the immune system. Yeah. And so I thought, I've been pretty darn opposed to the F word, to this concept of intermittent fasting, but maybe I'll try it on a Sunday. Okay. So for a few months, I tried intermittent fasting on Sunday. I would wake up, drink water, drink black coffee, go to church, sit through the sermon. My stomach wouldn't be grumbling, which was odd to me because typically if I broke my fast before church, I was really struggling by like 10:30 and needed to bring a snack with me to church. I'm like opening the wrapper and making noise in the middle of the sermon, like eating a granola bar. But I tested intermittent fasting on Sunday. I would break my fast when I got home from church, and I would feel so focused and energized through the morning. Yeah. Not only that, I wasn't rushing in the morning to prepare myself a breakfast. And then slowly over time, I started incorporating intermittent fasting with carb cycling, in addition to tracking my macronutrients, and of course a focus on whole food nutrition, which we'll discuss. And then a few months later, I had some of my gym clients try intermittent fasting as well. And one of my gym clients in particular, Susan, we'd been working together for a couple of years. She'd been coming to the gym a few times per week to train and was in a plateau. We'd tried paleo lifestyle, we'd tried 6 meals a day, we tried deficit dieting. Nothing was really budging the scale or helping her shed that belly fat. We tried intermittent fasting, and 3 weeks later, she lost 16 pounds.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So, I was like, okay, we're on to something. We've incorporated intermittent fasting in a way that is safe.
Yes.
I have guided her through the process, and we've seen some success. So, again, intermittent fasting for me wasn't something that I just jumped into, dove into. It was a slow process. It's taken me many, many years to develop what I feel is the very best solution for clients all over the world. But there are numerous benefits as well, hidden dangers in addition to numerous benefits if done correctly. So Kareen, would you tell our group a little bit about how you first initially stepped into the world of intermittent fasting?
Yes, and as much as I know, Amanda, I had never heard that story before. It's an assumption that you make that you have just always been a fan of intermittent fasting.
Nope.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So for me, I'd heard a little bit about intermittent fasting, and it's something that, it's funny that you mentioned church, that I would kind of do on church days because I was always running late.
Yes.
So I would skip breakfast, but didn't know there was a name to it and didn't do it any other day outside of that day. So it was after I had my second girl, and I was just like, okay, I want some energy. I would like to lose some weight. So I'm going to practice intermittent fasting. I am a registered dietitian. So I was like, I'll just figure it out. I will just wing it and I'll figure it out. I went about 3 days and energy completely plummeted.
Yes.
My milk supply plummeted. And that is something that, of course, I was about 1 month, 6 weeks postpartum.
Yes.
So I absolutely could not have my milk supply start to plummet and my energy, and I stopped.
Yeah.
I wasn't eating enough. Looking back, I know I wasn't eating enough because I thought intermittent fasting is a diet.
Yes.
So not only are you not eating during a certain time, you're just not eating. And so I just reduced my intake significantly. So I stopped until I found a program called The Faster Way to Fat Loss. learned how to do it correctly. My milk supply did come back, thankfully, but then in the faster way, it actually increased. And I had some really great milk supply, which I attribute to my daughter's great chubby cheeks to this day. But so that was my experience. So initially I was nervous to join a program, but then the more I read about it, and then of course being in it and seeing that there is a safe way that you do need to eat, which we're going to talk more about. That was my initial experience.
The key with intermittent fasting is that you implement it in a sustainable, safe, and effective way. So obviously we want you to accomplish your health and wellness goals, whether that is to burn fat, fasting will help. Whether it is to resolve diabetes, fasting will help. Prevent disease, fasting will help. There are so many benefits. I'll quickly run through a list and even remind you of some of the benefits I've already announced or shared. And then we're going to dive into different protocols and the biggest mistakes that we see people make. Reduced inflammation is a massive benefit of intermittent fasting. If you are hoping to eliminate, reduce, and prevent inflammation, which is so key to overall health and wellness, intermittent fasting is a wonderful, wonderful strategy. Greater mental clarity. Is fantastic. If you have any sort of brain fog, I know so many of you listening. Oh my gosh, Amanda, I've had brain fog. My mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Listen, fasting can help.
It can. It absolutely can. It helped me push through mommy brain.
Yes. Improved gut health. Is really amazing benefit of intermittent fasting.
That was the most surprising for me is that when I am faithful to keeping an intermittent fasting schedule, my digestive health significantly improves.
I love that. Autophagy is a huge benefit of intermittent fasting. Improved or increased resilience and boosted immunity is a benefit of intermittent fasting. And of course, fat burning, accelerated fat loss, is a huge benefit. When I first started researching intermittent fasting and hearing about intermittent fasting, I told my clients, I said, listen, if you implement intermittent fasting, you're going to lose muscle, your body's going to eat your muscle, your metabolism's going to halt. Like if you don't eat, every 2 hours, your metabolism is going to halt. Now what we know after working with 200,000 clients is that we actually optimize or maximize our metabolism when we incorporate intermittent fasting with strategy, with other important elements. And so that has been a wonderful result of intermittent fasting. So let's talk a little bit about the biggest mistakes we see people make when it comes to fasting. We do have some guys on this call. Most of you, though, are women. And so we're going to share the mistakes that we see many of our female clients or prospects making before coming into Faster Way. So what would you say, Karen, is one of those big mistakes?
The number one mistake, which is the one that got me and affected my milk supply, is intermittent fasting with under eating. So many people are coming in already under eaters, and then you add in the time restricted eating window, and you have those decreased calories, and instead of all of the benefits that Amanda just mentioned, you start to feel really sluggish. You're tired. You're irritable. You can't sleep. You've shared that you've had clients or people who've said my hair started falling out.
100%.
So under eating is probably the biggest mistake. You have to eat enough. Intermittent fasting is not a diet.
And here's the deal for those of you listening. I want to also explain that eating less and exercising more is not the answer for sustainable weight loss. Okay, so when you hear us say, well, why would under eating with intermittent fasting be negative? Wouldn't that help me lose weight faster? Well, sure, you might lose weight temporarily, but long term, you're going to cause suboptimal thyroid function. You're going to cause adrenal fatigue because of the additional stress on your body. Eating less and exercising more is not the answer. And many times women try intermittent fasting and they say, I'm going to do the 16-8 protocol or the 24-hour protocol, which we'll discuss. And then I'm going to have 1,200 calories or 1,000 calories. Guess what? If you do that long term, and then maybe you're also going to the gym and hopping on an elliptical or going outside and running or training for a half marathon, listen, you are going to damage your metabolism. And as Karen mentioned, you'll have some of those negative side effects, those negative symptoms of hormone imbalance, okay? And we don't want that for you. The purpose of this training is to educate you, empower you, and inspire you that you absolutely can incorporate intermittent fasting into your life in a way that is safe, sustainable, and effective. And we want to prevent you from making these common mistakes.
Absolutely. And the metabolism, if you feel like, oh, I am that person who has been practicing intermittent fasting unsafely, or I am eating too little and exercising too much, and you feel that your metabolism is broken, listen, I have been there. I have felt that there wasn't anything I could do to help fix my metabolism. You can. As Amanda said, we're here to help you, inspire you, give you hope, but don't feel that you have gone too far down that path. You can absolutely restore and repair your metabolism, your hormone function, and your overall health.
One of the other big mistakes that I see people make when trying intermittent fasting is eating the wrong foods during the feeding window, okay? Not all foods are created equal. Not all calories are created equal. If you are only consuming donuts and pizza, or lean cuisine, Hot Pockets, wheat thins, low-fat yogurt, and Diet Coke during your feeding window. Listen, if you're not consuming whole foods, meaning foods that come from the ground or have a mother, so for example, vegetables and fruits, chicken, lean proteins, then you will not be able to effectively sustain an intermittent fasting protocol and see results long term. Eating whole foods is so key.
Absolutely.
So key, okay? So that's a really big mistake. And again, when I initially stepped into the wellness industry, I am embarrassed to tell you that I recommended many of the popular diet foods that I thought, it was the era of Biggest Loser. When we were hearing that Subway was a good lunch option. The breads and the cheeses and the meats, and we were hearing that wheat thins and mini wheats and low-fat yogurt and cheese sticks, and I mean, oh my God.
The little 100-calorie packs.
And Diet Coke. Now, I would not recommend Diet Coke even, 15 years ago, but many of my clients would drink Diet Coke. You have to be cognizant of whole food nutrition. It is not an option if you want to accomplish that goal that you posted down in the comments. If you posted in the comments and you said, I want to lose weight, I want to thrive through menopause, I want to prevent cancer because we have cancer in my background, I want to resolve diabetes, I want to stay well and have energy so I can run around with my kids or my grandkids. Listen, it is non-negotiable that you must focus on whole food nutrition. It is non-negotiable. It is your responsibility as a mom, as a wife, as a community. A couple people might be convicted right now. All right, but that is okay. I might be triggering you a little bit, okay? But it is a non-negotiable that you focus on whole food nutrition, and hopefully you'll then pair your whole food nutrition with an intermittent fasting protocol as you seek guidance with the Fast Way to Fat Loss Coach community.
Absolutely. If you are looking for a superfood, the word superfood sometimes triggers me. But if you're looking for a superfood, look no further than all whole foods. It is truly a non-negotiable. A diet rich in whole foods will get you your long-term health and your short-term results that you're looking for.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the third mistake we see many people make when trying intermittent fasting, which is implementing extreme protocols. This
is probably where a lot of people are going to get triggered. We'll talk about the different types of intermittent fasting that there are. The first one meal a day. Going for 23 hours without eating, and then eating just one meal a day. We could probably do an entire training.
We could probably do
just on the dangers of the popularly called OMAD diet. But for me, as a registered dietitian, my number one thing is nutrition, nutrients. When you are going with just one meal a day, it is impossible to get all of the nutrition, all of the nutrients you need to thrive. We talk about whole food nutrition because it has all of your macronutrients like your carbohydrates, protein, and fiber, but also all of your micronutrients like your vitamin D, C, A, B, like all of the microvitamins, micronutrients that help your body to thrive. And when you're eating one meal a day, you're either not getting them in or you are solely relying on supplements. And that's just not a way to live.
It's not a way to live. Absolutely not. You know, the 23-hour fast and 1 hour feed. I just can't relate with even like a halfway ever wanting to do that, because I love to chew and to eat and to enjoy. And, you know, there's so many reasons that I love the protocol we implement in the Fast Away. But, you know, there have been many studies about this particular lifestyle, in addition to a 24-hour fast every other day, which is another very common protocol we see people trying. This is where you eat for 24 hours, as much as you want, whenever you want, and then you fast for 24 hours. Then you eat for 24 hours, fast for 24 hours. There have been many studies done regarding that particular eating schedule, and it is detrimental for female hormones.
It is. It absolutely is. That long term, as you said, the stress that it puts on your body, the adrenal fatigue, and then it's just not fun.
No. It sounds like torture.
It does. We are here for health, but we also want to live our lives. And not have to worry about, well, what day is it and how am I going to navigate the day. So those studies show that a lot of times the participants who are on those alternate day fasting, every other day fasting, or the 1 meal a day, a lot of the participants drop out because it isn't sustainable and it's just not a way that you can live your life. So you might see results, as we have said, short term, you probably will see results, but can you see yourself doing this in 1 year or even truly in a month? Like, let's not even go the 1 year. Can you see yourself doing it for a month? And we don't want to implement strategies that get us immediate results, but then in a month we're right back to where we started, and probably a couple pounds more than where we started as well.
We'll discuss a couple of other protocols that we do hear quite a bit about in the media. One is the 5-day fasting, and then 2 days of basically binging. Which, you know, that's not what people call it when they, you know, propagate this or promote this particular type of protocol, but 5 days of fasting, 2 days of binging. Usually that looks like Monday through Friday fasting, maybe the 16-8 or the 24, and then 2 days on the weekend of just eating whatever the heck you want. That doesn't seem to be working very well for people long term either.
Absolutely.
Anytime we consider this type of extreme lifestyle where you say, okay, I'm going to be really strict for 5 days at a time, and then I'm going to binge for 2 days at a time, it's just not healthy, even from a mindset perspective.
Absolutely.
In the Fast Away, we like to focus on whole food nutrition 95% of the time. We enjoy one treat together as a community on our leg day. It's very intentional. It's with control. And so that is what we found to work much better for people from that mindset perspective, and then the health and wellness perspective long term.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then long-term fasts are becoming increasingly popular. This is where people will go for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. And this is very dangerous to do without a medical reason.
I was just going to say, some of the longer fasts can be implemented under guidance with a healthcare practitioner for a specific reason. And so that's where you can see the safe application of it. But if you are in your home, I'm going to try a 7-day fast, a 21-day fast, it is unsafe.
Absolutely. In the Fast Away, we implement what's called a 16-8 protocol, where we fast for 16 hours and we eat or feed for 8 hours. And again, when we are eating, we're consuming whole food nutrition. We are also tracking our macronutrients, carbs, fats, and proteins. We are, in addition to that, cycling our carbohydrates. Okay, so it's really important to note that we are not only just simply saying we're going to go willy-nilly and open up the fridge and eat, whatever it is that appeases our craving at the time. We're very, very intentional about consuming enough of the right macronutrients in addition to the micronutrients that Karen mentioned. And at the end of the day, food is medicine. Okay? We love to give our bodies longer at digestive rest so our bodies can heal, but then we also look at food as medicine. You are what you eat. Okay, so if you're eating Krispy Kreme donuts every day for the rest of the year,
every day,
guess what? Your immune system is going to tank. You are going to gain weight. We're going to have major issues long term, okay? Food is medicine, so it's very important that during our feeding window, we are eating whole foods. And some of our clients do implement a 12-12 protocol as well. Do you want to briefly mention that?
Absolutely. So we, as Amanda said, practice that 16-8, but if you're coming in and you're just like, I don't know about 16 hours, we absolutely can work with you with a 12-12, so 12 hours of eating and then 12 hours of fasting. And it's a rough number in terms of like the exact hours, but we absolutely work with where you are. If you're coming in and you're like, I lead a totally stressed life and I can't imagine going for 16 hours. Again, there's a 12-12. We also sometimes practice the 14-6.
14-10.
14-10.
Yes. We're great at math here.
As soon as I started saying, I was like, oh no, Karen, are you going to work it out? Public math. 14-10, that's probably the easiest calculation ever. But 14-10 is also another option. So that's what I love about the faster way. It is sustainable.
Yes.
It is, we're working with your lifestyle because you will see results. What do we say? More is not always better.
Right.
Like more is not always better.
Absolutely.
So you can still see the results that we talked about from a weight loss perspective, fat loss perspective, from improved immunity at 12-12, at 14-10, at 16-8.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to answer a few questions.
Absolutely.
I have not seen these questions in advance, so hit me with them, Karen, and post any and all questions that you have in the comments below as well.
We're going to start with one actually from someone named Amanda.
Ooh, good name. Love it.
And Amanda said, COVID and menopause have been a double whammy for my weight. I've gained nearly 20 pounds since March of last year, 2020.
Wow.
My goal is to lose this extra baggage, correct my hormones, and improve my overall health. How can intermittent fasting help me with these goals?
Oh, wow. I love this question. So first and foremost, Amanda, fantastic name. You are in good company. So many of our clients say, I'm struggling through menopause. I'm unable to lose weight. In fact, I'm gaining weight. The pandemic has been a really big challenge for me because I haven't been able to get to the gym. I'm not out at the grocery store as often getting whole foods. Here's the deal. I created the fast way to fat loss for you. So I mentioned some of my gym clients earlier who were in plateau. The client that I mentioned who lost 16 pounds in 3 weeks was actually in menopause, okay? So I created the fast way to fat loss for women who are busy, women who are hoping for a sustainable solution. We have clients who come into the program who say, I've been trying diets for decades and nothing has worked for me long term. I'm discouraged. I'm frustrated. I've wasted so much time and money. It's interesting because my mother joined the Fast Way to Fat Loss last summer and she was very opposed to this concept of fasting. I remember my dad every single morning for my entire life would bring my mom wheat thins up to her bed in the morning. That was how she would, have her breakfast meal or break her fast in the morning. She would have, some of the diet foods as well. She was very skeptical of the program, even though I'm her daughter, or maybe because I'm her daughter, but tried intermittent fasting, tried the faster way through menopause, and she is the leanest she has ever been. She's more confident than ever before, which is so exciting. So, if you're struggling with the weight gain this past year, we would love to help you. Intermittent fasting, whole food nutrition, carb cycling, frankly, is going to be really, really important for you as well, depleting your glycogen stores so you can burn fat or triglycerides for fuel, revving up thyroid function, but also addressing potential adrenal fatigue. Suboptimal thyroid function, like I said, is going to be so key.
Absolutely. This next question is one that we hear quite often. This is from Ashley. I want to get my body and health back. In 2020, I was just into coming off of keto. After 1.5 years, had a baby, went through the pandemic, started working from home. She says she's never struggled with her weight and now finds herself in a place where it's difficult to lose that extra weight. Is intermittent fasting a great place to start?
Ooh, yes and no. So yes, if you're doing intermittent fasting with guidance, no if you're simply going to try it on your own. Here's the deal. If you are postpartum, it's very, very possible that you're dealing with hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, other hormone imbalances. We definitely want to be sure that we're guiding you and coming alongside you to balance your hormones. We want you to eat enough of those right foods so that you can burn fat effectively. Eating less, exercising more, again, is not the answer.
All right, our last question is from Michelle.
Okay.
I want to create a healthy gut, have better energy, lose fat, and tone up. Will intermittent fasting help?
Oh my goodness, wow. First of all, Michelle, I appreciate all of your goals. And yes, intermittent fasting will help. Interestingly, intermittent fasting helps with the maintenance of skeletal muscle mass. Now, when I first heard about fasting, again, I told my clients, don't try this. Your body's gonna eat your own muscle. That is actually not the case.
Yep.
Intermittent fasting will be fantastic as you're looking to build lean muscle, and you will be able to optimize or maximize your metabolism as you lift heavy. In the Fast Way to Fat Loss, we have a strategic food cycle. We focus on whole food nutrition, and we pair our food cycle with effective 30-minute workouts in order to optimize our results. So Michelle, we would love to have you in the Fast Way to Fat Loss. When is our next round of the Fast Way to Fat Loss, Kareen?
On Monday, March 29th. Yes,
Awesome.
March 29th.
We have a wonderful group already lined up. We're gonna have a few thousand brand new clients coming into our 6-week orientation program. When you join the Fast Way to Fat Loss, you'll have a coach who will help you with macros, who will guide you and be with you every step of the way. You'll have access to our amazing app. You'll see myself and our other pro trainers working you through some effective workouts as we go through the week as well. The Fast Away is so fun. It's the best community in the marketplace.
Absolutely. If you are looking for like-minded men and women who are focused on, as Amanda said, getting better, preventing disease so that you can fulfill your purpose with energy, the Fast Away community is bar none.
Yeah. We would love nothing more than to empower you to stay well and to go through the rest of 2021, accomplishing and even crushing those health and wellness goals that you posted below. We hope you guys enjoyed this training. We'd love to answer more questions that you have, so feel free to comment below or reach out to our team. Thank you, Miss Kareen, for this wonderful training. It's been so fun.
It has been. Thanks for inviting me.
We hope to see you guys on Monday. Bye, everyone.